Yo everyone, we're back again with another podcast, All Out with Teng. And here we are joining again with Ezran as my co-host today, or as a guest speaker for today's topic. Today is going to be I think it's a very serious topic, which is what is happening in Palestine. Like before we go on, we all saw the news, right? What happened in Palestine, Israel-Palestine conflict that happened last week. Started from last week, right, Ezran? 6th of
Yes.
week.
If I'm not mistaken, it was on the weekend.
It is on a weekend. It is on the month of Ramadan, right? The holy
Yeah.
month, the holy month for Muslim, and it started because of Palestinians began protesting in Jerusalem over a forthcoming decision of the Israeli Supreme Court regarding the eviction of four Palestinian families from Sheikh Jarrah. Is that right?
Yes.
I see. Then after that, the following day, Israel something happened in Al Aqsa Mosque. Actually, what happened there? Can you?
Okay. Let me go back to the Sheikh Jarrah evictions again.
Yeah, yeah.
Israel is right now basically occupying the whole region of Jerusalem. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So Muslims yang nak pergi solat dekat mosque apa semua pun apa very uh, terkongkong lah. They are basically dictated by the Israel. Oh, you nak ni, you kena lalu apa tu the machine yang scan for weapons apa semua. So
Yeah.
basically Israel has enough control over there to implement almost anything. So their courts can apparently decide
Mm-hmm.
to evict the original settlers. Okay. So
Ah,
to make it legal, I guess, when a court decides. But of course lah, that's what happens when the court is terdiri daripada orang yang berkepentingan. You know, the Israelis, the Zionists in particular here. The Zionists here tengah
mm-hmm.
bagi permission kepada Zionists to do
Mm-hmm.
something that the Zionists as a whole want, which is to expand diorang punya settlement. Okay. So
Ah,
that's why I was laughing there when you talked about the court's decision. Now,
ah.
what
Okay.
happened in Al-Aqsa Mosque, okay,
Mm-hmm.
uh, based on based on what I know is ada dua pandangan. Okay, now the pro-Palestinians
Mm-hmm.
say that out of apa tu Sheikh Jarrah punya protest, peaceful protest by the way,
Mm-hmm.
Sheikh Jarrah punya protest ni menyebabkan the Israelis apa tu nak basically threaten the Palestinians
Mm-hmm.
into just giving up the place Sheikh Jarrah, okay, by threatening diorang punya mosque. Al-Aqsa is the third holiest mosque, third holiest site, in fact, in Islam.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Muslims, especially among the Palestinians, would like
Mm-hmm.
to preserve that place as much as possible. And of course, when you treasure something so much, there are things there are other things that you would usually treasure that you would give up, that you would sacrifice in favor of the one that you hold most dear. Betul tak?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
tactic Israel sekarang is trying to hurt that, okay, just so that they can settle into Sheikh Jarrah easily. Now,
Ah.
the other pandangan, okay,
Mm-hmm.
the least popular,
Okay, okay.
I think on the internet, a lot of the pro Zionists,
Mm-hmm.
they would say, in fact, I nampak footage dorang send,
Mm-hmm.
um basically depicting it was not clear from the video actually, but based on the description is um masa the night night or the night before the Al Aqsa Mosque attack, there were
Mm-hmm.
some Palestinian youths protesting dengan membaling batu somewhere dekat Jewish punya apa tu temple or something. I pun tak
Mm-hmm.
sure. But basically diorang nak kata because the Muslims attacked uh, a holy place, okay, of the Jews, so the Israelis attack balik. So dia nak kata it's just retaliation. Now, I tak rasa this pro-Zionist claims are actually true, because I've only seen it in comments and apa semua. I've never seen an official news report
Uh,
claiming that this is true. Okay.
so it might just some media stir up for like
Yes. Yes. Now the media can spin this, spin that, tutup this, show this, tutup that, show this.
yeah, yeah.
Tapi
What?
I know a lot of media outlets,
Mm-hmm.
especially the Western ones. They
Mm-hmm.
would like as much as possible to apa to brainwash us into believing Israel is doing everything right and the Palestinians are the terrorists apa semua. But why have I not seen any news outlet reporting that ada apa tu violent protests among the Palestinians which sparked the IDF punya attack on Al-Aqsa. Why? Because it's not true. It's factually not true, and the news outlets cannot report this. This is as far as I can tell. Now, I don't reside in America or the pro-Zionist European countries, so I don't know what the media outlets is telling. But the internet covers a lot of things, and if I search up Israel Palestinian conflicts and I look through the past week punya reports, I
Mm-hmm.
tak nampak satu pun apa claiming that the Al Aqsa attack was in retaliation to the violent protests. Instead, all I can tell from the news reports is that the Al Aqsa attack was a retaliation of some sorts towards
Mm-hmm.
the peaceful protests for Sheikh Jarrah.
From that on, it became worse and worse, right? Until today, like a few days ago, there's
Yes.
bombing that happened in where in Gaza.
Yes. Now, apa tu, a lot of people are claiming this is the most violent one,
Mm-hmm.
the most violent war.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna use a lot of air quotes here
Okay, okay.
because a lot of the words are being
Uh-huh.
used quite lightly.
Mm-hmm.
So, ini in some ways memerli penggunaan perkataan tu. Okay.
Okay.
So the war is the most
Mm-hmm.
violent in decades because in decades or in apa tu in the past decade I'm not sure,
Mm-hmm.
but since the Israeli Palestinian conflict ada banyak skirmishes every now and then, this is the most this is not a skirmish anymore, this is basically a full out war. Now kenapa yang ni yang paling teruk in a long time? Because the Israelis attacked Al-Aqsa. Now, if it was just a Sheikh Jarrah and dorang evict forcefully, I don't think this would. If they did not do anything else, they just evicted forcefully. I don't think this would ripple across the whole of the Palestinian nation. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
as much as it has now. But because the Israelis were so quick to attack Al-Aqsa, and tu pun dia bukan sekadar restrict people from going into Al-Aqsa as they have done before, but this time they attacked masuk tak ada hormat. They masuk with their shoes on, throwing grenades, shooting people. Basically, what happened in the Churchill shooting, I think that's what it was called,
Uh-huh.
a couple of years ago,
Uh-huh.
dekat New Zealand.
Ah, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Basically, that is
It's
it. But instead of one crazy person shooting up people,
Mm-hmm.
it was a police force. Okay, and with bombs, you know, bukan sekadar guns, with bombs.
Uh-huh.
Now this is an insult to humanity, insult to the Palestinians, an insult especially to the Muslims, because you attack a mosque, and not just any mosque, the third most holy one in our religion. So this is why uh, Palestinians all over the Palestinian Israeli region tengah protest. It's all over the country, all over the region.
Ah, but they all fight, right? What Israel are aiming for? What are they aiming for? They are aiming for the land, right? Are they aiming for to conquer the land, or
Okay. Any pro Zionists here probably want to kecam, but I don't think you have
ah?
that many viewers. Okay.
Kejap, kejap.
Now,
Okay, come on.
as far as I can tell,
Ah.
the Israelis will want as much as possible to conquer the whole region, because it solves the whole problem. Apa tu, maksudnya diorang ada control, like right now
Mm-hmm.
Gaza is out of their occupation. Dia
Oh.
still restricted dekat the border, orang tak boleh masuk ikut suka hati. The Israeli still controls the border into Gaza, but
Mm-hmm.
the region of Gaza itself is under full control of Palestinian people, under
Ah.
Hamas administration, kind of. So now this region here can put up a fight. As you can see now, they're sending a barrage of rockets towards the capital of Israel, even though basically a sia-sia je.
Ah.
Uh, so this is like the um one last fight yang betul-betul the Palestinians can have, their one true chance at surviving from total control over by the Israelis. So if you ask me, I think the Israelis would want to just get rid of any threat, okay, any big threat, because of course once they conquer, there's still people living integrated within
Mm.
the region that will put up a fight. But now this is just one secluded region yang out of their full control. So I would say the Israelis would want total control. But right now they are content with already controlling Jerusalem, and of course by extension Al-Aqsa Mosque, because by doing this, like I said, they can threaten the Palestinians anytime they want.
Mm.
Okay, now they are expanding their settlements by evicting people, macam what they want to do with Sheikh Jarrah right now, is because diorang punya population pun tengah bertambah. They're having kids, and they're having Jews from other regions come in and settle there. So of course, at some point, okay, if they want to sustain this Israeli population growth, they're gonna want to expel, exterminate, and displace all the Palestinians in the region. But it's a slow process. Okay. So this has been going on for a long time, where they evict people out of this small region, and then the next town, and so on and so forth. So right now,
Mhm.
they're doing what they've been doing for a long time, but they're doing it with bigger threats. Okay.
Yes. And uh and moving on, we wait I want to ask, right, just now about the Palestinian Israelis. Uh why don't when if you read the one that share with you just now, or watch the video that I shared with you just now, did you finish watching it? Oh, it's okay if you're not finished watching it, but
No.
the place itself, it's Palestinians one, right? Before this,
Yes.
like years ago, way back, before it became suddenly became Israel's one, the
Okay.
Jews the Jews
Uh,
came here. What I
yeah.
don't understand is why is it that they don't live under or live under like under being ruled by Palestine or
Okay. Why do
and
they claim that region as their own? That's what you're asking, right?
not just claim, but then it's like us, like Chinese, like being coming
Mm.
here as an immigrant. Yeah, why they
Yeah.
don't live
Kenapa
there
you?
as an immigrant? Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. So, this is a very interesting question. Now, ada two approaches that I
Uh-huh.
want to explore here.
Uh-huh.
I'll start with the most recent one because the other
Yes.
one goes back thousands of years. Okay.
Okay.
So, like you said, kalau you Chinese,
Yeah.
you datang ke sini,
Yeah.
kenapa you tak claim Malaysia as your own? You know,
Because
now
Malaysia is not my country.
Malaysia is your country,
Malaysia is my country, but
but it's not a country owned by the Chinese.
Chinese.
Uh,
Yes.
okay, so now, the Israelis,
Mm-hmm.
the Jews here yang nak tubuhkan negara sendiri and
Mm-hmm.
have their own nation where they rule.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this idealism
Mm-hmm.
is called Zionism. So
Uh-huh.
the people yang apa tu uphold and berpegang kepada these ideals, we call them Zionists lah.
Mm.
So the Zionists, dorang dari around the time of the World War,
Mm-hmm.
after actually, they
Mm-hmm.
wanted to have a nation of their own
Mm.
because dorang rasa the Jews tak ada nation of their own, so they want one. Okay, because it's
Mm-hmm.
not just a religion. Sorry, a religion. It's also a people. You see, the Israelis, the most of them, the Jewish Israelis, diorang
Mm-hmm.
berasal dari satu uh, group of people called the Bani Israel, the people of Israel. Now, this goes back to beberapa thousand years. I'll come back here later.
Mm.
Tapi, so basically, they don't have negara sendiri. Now, the Chinese, they have negara sendiri. So, the people yang came here dari tanah China, they datang sini and settle here. They don't have to claim uh, that they have a negara of their own here because they already have one up there.
Mm.
Okay. So, tu satu difference between the Chinese and the Israelis.
Mm.
Another difference is the Israelis are driven by religious apa tu motivations because that is the other point I will come to later.
Okay.
Okay, another reason the Israelis are different from the Chinese is because the Israelis masa they were in Europe dulu, okay,
Mm-hmm.
during the World War II, Hitler and basically the Nazis lah were hunting down Jews and apa tu either brainwashing them into not being Jews by sending them to concentration camps or outright just killing them. Okay, so this is called the Holocaust. Um, so after the Holocaust, the Jews rasa insecure lah. Like, oh, diorang duduk kat tanah orang menumpang, they don't have any power of their own, tak ada sovereignty. So, apa-apa yang the government buat, the army buat, you tak boleh lawan sangat kan, you don't have that kind of power. So, they wanted autonomy and independence of their own, and they thought they could not have it there. So, they wanted to a land of their own. They wanted bahagian dekat around the region of today's Palestine,
Mm.
or today's should be Palestine.
Okay.
Okay. Now we go to that other approach I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So the religion, the Jewish religion goes back
Mm.
a few thousand years to the Prophet Yaqub's time.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Actually, some would say it's even older than that. But a prominent figure in the Jewish religion is dari segi Islam lah, dari pandangan Islam. I don't know about Jewish punya ni. My knowledge tak in depth sangat dari segi tu.
Mhm.
Tapi dari pandangan Islam, Bani Israel means the people of Israel, and Israel was the gelaran given to one of our prophets, which is Yaqub. In your religion, he would be known as Jacob.
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
Okay. Now, Yaqub was the son of Ishaq or Isaac,
Mm-hmm.
and in turn, the son of Ibrahim. Isaac is
Oh,
the
okay.
son of Ibrahim, and in your religion, known as Abraham. So, the people of Israel is just apa tu, orang yang disampaikan, of course, not just orang disampaikan. Some say it's keturunan of Jacob himself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So fast forward a few thousand years, I guess, to the time of Moses. The Jews dekat Egypt, I don't know what happened to them that they moved from Israel to Egypt.
There's
Or
something.
maybe they just did not survive sangat dekat kawasan Middle East tu. So
Mm-hmm.
some of them went to Egypt or were captured by the Egyptians, but they were
Mm.
turned into slaves.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And then Moses freed them by apa tu, bringing them to the promised land. Promised land here is, if I'm not mistaken, according to Jewish lore, is kawasan dekat Palestine tu.
Mm-hmm.
The It's called Promised Land because Moses, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's because Moses promised to bring them there, or something like that, or there was a prophecy even before the time of Moses. Now I'm not sure here because ada tiga religions here yang menceritakan kejadian ni, and
Yeah, yeah,
even
yeah.
dari segi Islam pun I'm not quite sure. Okay, so apatah lagi when there are opposing stories, you know. So the Jews think that memang kawasan situ is kawasan diorang dah for thousands of years. Okay, so when they wanted to find a land of their own to tubuhkan their own nation, diorang terfikir pasal the promised land.
Oh, okay, okay. I understand now. I understand now. So that's why they came to the Palestine, and then all this conflict started.
Yes. Now, apa tu, what I find ridiculous in their claims is, even though memang tu dulu kawasan tanah air diorang,
Mm-hmm.
but the peredaran sejarah
Mm-hmm.
menyaksikan
Mm-hmm.
the Arab ethnicities will grow to populate and inhabit that region. And
Mm-hmm.
they've even tubuhkan their own country by
Yeah.
apa tu, wanting to claim a nation of their own. So just because you had a right to claim that land a few thousand years ago doesn't mean you have the same right now. Why? Because dah ada penduduk dah kat situ. You nak displace ke celah mana? You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. I can't really think of any country with a similar situation, but I'm I'm quite sure any other country pun zaman
Mm-hmm.
dulu ada apa tu, dia punya own penduduk yang look almost nothing like the penduduk zaman sekarang. Betul tak?
Yes.
Like let's take Malaysia and rewind 4,000 years. Ada
Orang
ke
asli.
orang asli kan? Kan?
Yeah. Just imagine orang asli suddenly
And,
come out
and,
and want to
and
claim
right
for
now,
the
you
land.
tengok Malaysia sekarang, is it called
Yeah.
orang asli ye? No, it's Malaysia. Orang Melayu yang apa tu, yang dah apa tu evolve, I guess,
Mhm.
and datang dari the region, dari apa tu Indonesia, dari Philippines, and also Siam pun ada.
Yeah.
Diorang dah apa tu basically evolve into one kind of people, one kind of ethnicity, that
Mhm.
they become the majority there.
Yeah,
Betul
yeah,
tak?
yeah. Yeah,
And then
yeah.
orang asli, even though kita tak dia tak jadi majority, and therefore it's not apa tu really, you can't really say it's their country, even though by law itu memang tanah diorang kan.
Yeah, yeah.
Apa tu, we recognize that by giving them privileges. Betul tak?
Ah,
Ah,
oh, wait. I
apa
think we
tu
just,
bumi putra,
yeah.
hak bumi putra, yeah. That is bentuk privilege that I'm talking about. But in Israel,
Mm-hmm.
apa tu, they of course lah, they did not give any privileges, but
Mm-hmm.
the Israelis, instead of being grateful that they were taken in as refugees by the Palestinians, they still wanted to tubuhkan dorang punya own
Cut
apa
tree.
tu country. Yes.
And then basically, Israelis did not wasn't grateful for what they have, and then they
Mm.
backstab Palestinian.
Yes, and by claiming that the land is theirs, they
Mm-hmm.
are apa tu saying that the the claim of the Palestinians over the land is invalid. You know.
Oh, okay,
Mm.
okay, I understand, I
So
understand.
the orang asli right now, actually tak boleh cakap sangat because orang asli diorang kurang educated sikit as a whole kan, so they don't really voice out these things. But orang asli sekarang, do you see them driving us away? In
No.
fact, the orang asli, they've never traveled away from here and come back. They have been here the whole time. The Israelis, diorang dah travel all around the world dah, and then only after that did they come back.
Uh,
They
I
and they
see.
came back here, and they came back, sorry, to Palestine as refugees tau. Do you see refugees here claiming apa tu setting up their own territories, expanding it, and lama-lama controlling the country? No,
Bangla,
you
Bangla.
don't see, you don't see people from Rohingya tengah
Ah,
set up settlements here in Malaysia
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and evicting people around. No, you don't
Mm-hmm.
see apa tu, you don't see the Palestinians, the Syrians,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people from the less lucky Middle Eastern countries yang
Ah,
flee to Germany, France, and all over Europe. You don't see them doing what the Israelis are doing or did
mm-hmm.
or have done for the past berapa decades. No, you
Mm-hmm.
don't see that. This is only happening uh, in Israel.
I see. And by the way, even okay, even if they take them as a refugee, right? I think if I am I'm gonna be honest here. Okay. If let's say I'm a Israeli, this right, and I was there, I don't have any privileges. I don't have anything. But so I kind of understand why they are like that because they don't have their own country, they don't have their own law. Basically, they have to live under someone's law, and some and it's somehow how to say they feel like they are being treated unfair. You
Okay,
understand what I mean?
I faham. Now,
Uh,
ada dua benda yang I nak guna untuk like basically say you tak boleh compare diri dengan diorang.
oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Okay. One, the Chinese right now, are they evicting people, Malays, orang asli out of their homes?
yeah.
Okay. And then two,
Mhm,
mm, the Israelis, okay, you could say this is how they felt masa they first came to
mhm,
Palestine, okay? But fast forward apa 20 years, they've already had their own settlements within Palestine. The Palestinians dah basically apa tu mengalah sikit, you know. Okay, they have had their own settlements, their own administration, tapi diorang nak pergi kembangkan juga diorang punya territory. Diorang nak evict juga people.
ah,
Now they use the, if I'm not mistaken, the Arab Wars. Arab-Israeli war as
Mm-hmm.
alasan that they nak kembangkan teritori diorang, basically saying that the Arabs from neighboring countries and also the Palestinian Arabs apa tu were driving them out to the coast and basically
Mm.
trying to get rid of the Jews there lah.
Mm.
But that is not actually the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
The Israelis, they were
Mm-hmm.
trying to expand their borders and whatnot, and diorang sendirilah basically cari pasal that people wanted them out of the region.
Ah, I
Okay.
see.
Now the only reason diorang survive is because of the
Mm-hmm.
US punya backing.
Oh, but
Now,
why did US backing on the I think
ah,
why that's
they,
the not just US actually. Canada also, I think, right? If
yeah,
I'm not
a lot of
mistaken.
Western countries are
Ah,
backing up Israel. Now,
yeah. Why though?
kenapa?
Yeah,
Now this
like.
at least coming from me, dia
Uh-huh.
apa tu, I kena bagi disclaimer lah that ada
Mm,
some element of speculation here,
mm,
but overall it is true when I say that the Western countries diorang modern and diorang kalau boleh this is 21st century apa tu, what's the word,
21st century for
colonization, another word for colonization.
uh conquer.
Imperialism.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
imperialism.
Sorry, this is not colonization per se,
Okay,
imperialism.
okay,
So
okay.
this one Western countries yang
Mm-hmm,
powerful,
mm-hmm.
they want to have some sort of control over regions yang away from them. Okay. So why? Of course, ultimately it leads to money and power lah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
By the way, before that, I would just want to ask what Israel can offer. If I'm not mistaken, right, they don't really have anything, right? So that's why I was like kind of thinking why the Western country want to back them up lah. So
Okay.
continue.
So, let me finish dulu
Okay, okay,
modern imperialism.
okay.
So they want to have some foothold in the Middle Eastern regions. As you
Mm-hmm.
can see, US apa dah berapa lama dah they have been at war with Iran, with Iraq, Afghanistan. Okay, uh, and of course indirectly they're at war with the Palestinians lah because they are backing up Israel. They are the main supporters, the main suppliers even for weapons and whatnot. So what do apa yang membantu diorang kan, by having power and control over there, diorang ada apa tu, economic interest juga. Now I have not researched much into how this Israeli Palestinian war would benefit the Western countries, but I'll give you an example that I know very intimately to be true. Somewhere in kawasan Nigeria and Chad, there is a lake Chad yang ada oil reserves around it. Okay, or in the lake, I don't know. So France is supplying.
Oh, wait, something's happened.
France and a couple of other European nations, dia tengah supply militia di
Mm-hmm.
kawasan African countries di situ
Mm-hmm.
to apa tu, rebel against the government, basically create political instability there,
Mm-hmm.
so that the countries tak boleh nak claim, tak boleh nak apa tu, ambil the oil yang memang hak diorang. Okay,
Oh, okay,
they're
okay.
too busy fighting that they cannot grow economically, and the European take advantage of this regional political instability
Mm-hmm.
by extracting oil dari situ.
Ah.
Okay. Also, I dare say dekat the um Iraq and Afghanistan, probably something similar happened where the US attack, okay, they wanted to go for oil. Of course, if the US attacks a Middle Eastern country, it's for oil.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Uh, so diorang attack, so they create instability in that region,
Mm-hmm.
and because they have so much manpower, firepower, and money, diorang boleh handle the attacks, and they can apa tu, and they can dig for oil at the same time. Also, some people also believe, I pun rasa lah to a certain extent, that the US, contoh, diorang tengah fighting this terrorist group,
Mm-hmm.
terrorist group. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Uh, some people believe that they are also supplying belakang di sebalik tabir, they
Mm-hmm.
are also supplying these terrorist groups with weapons,
Oh,
so
yeah,
that
yeah.
they can terrorize even more, creating more instability in that region. Okay, so that the penduduk tak boleh nak buat apa-apa lah. They're too busy fighting, surviving, fighting these terrorists. That the US can come in, ambil apa-apa lah. Basically, exploit the region of its resources, just as imperialist countries, imperialist nations sebelum-sebelum ni buat. They came and exploit, but right now,
Oh, wait. Something has happened.
occupying the region.
Wait, Ezran, just now
Okay,
you are like stuck, you know.
sorry. Is it my
Basically,
internet?
I think so.
Okay. I now dia naik satu bar. Is it okay now?
Okay, okay, it's okay because just now, like for few minutes, your screen is like buffering, not buffering, like just like slightly stop, and there's like echo. Yeah, I don't know where's the echo from. Is it from your speaker?
Itu sebab lag kot.
Okay,
Takkan echo punya sebab I pakai headphones.
okay, okay, okay. Okay, continue, continue. We are talking about the US and their
Okay.
exploitation towards
So
the Middle East.
so basically, this is not just the US doing lah. Like I said tadi,
Ah,
ada satu contoh with France and some African countries. Diorang
mm-hmm,
tengah exploit juga by
mm-hmm,
creating instability in that region. And
mm-hmm,
the US pun ada buat dekat the Middle East,
mm.
and Israel and Palestine. Apa tu, they are in the Middle East. So I guess in some way yang I tak research yet, okay, the US and a lot of Western countries do benefit from this apa tu, ketidakstabilan politik in that region.
Ah,
Okay.
I see.
Now, also ada
Mm-hmm,
people,
mm-hmm,
especially Malay Muslims, maybe
mm-hmm.
also ada Muslims juga. They think that the Jews in the Western countries tengah bersepakat, apa tu, there are people in power in these countries
Mm-hmm.
who are Zionists basically. So
Oh,
so they want the Israelis to have that whole region, and that is why they are supplying, and therefore they guna the country's resources lah, because they are in power. Now
mm,
I tak berani nak explore that much because it's approaching conspiracy theory, and I sendiri tak ada enough research into that conspiracy theory to apa tu sebarkan. Now what I
mm.
believe or don't believe
Uh,
is information.
wait. Uh,
But
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
what is not misinformation is what I told you tadi lah, pasal how modern imperialism works,
Mm-hmm,
and how it has been going on in many regions, and apa tu, and also yang pasal there are people in power yang Jews. I'm not saying that's a fact, but I'm saying that the belief that that is a fact is a fact. Okay,
okay, okay,
ada orang percaya. Whether or
okay.
not it's true, I tak berani cakap.
Okay, okay. So I guess that's a little bit about Israel and Palestine, why it's happening and why is it happening right now, and why the US and the Canada and other Western country are backing up the Israel instead of Palestine. But uh, but now, right, like people are starting to see that okay, this is Israel's fault, and then we are standing for Palestinians. But we as normal citizens can't really do much, right? Besides, even though we did so
Yeah,
much in the
yeah,
social media and all.
yeah. Okay, this is a very interesting thing to talk about.
Yeah,
Tadi you kata now more people are beginning to realize that Israel is in the wrong.
yeah,
So that's what I first want to talk about, and then I want to talk about what we are doing and how much it could impact
okay.
the situation. So the thing about today is
Mm-hmm.
everyone has a phone. Everyone has access to internet. Even impoverished and at danger countries, at danger people like the Palestinians
Mm-hmm.
have phones and access to internet. Even though of course lah tak selengkap macam kita right now,
Yeah.
but they are there enough, okay, that it can go viral. Okay,
Mm.
a few years ago, the internet and technology has not come to the point where everyone could see for themselves terus on the internet what's actually happening.
Yeah.
But kalau kita compare the situation right now to maybe 5-7 years ago, okay, semakin banyak footage from ground zero, okay, from the place happening itself. People are recording the kekejaman, sesiapa punya kekejaman sebenarnya yang tengah berlaku. Media,
Mm-hmm.
the apa tu um, the official media outlets,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
yang sepatutnya cover the truth here.
Mm-hmm.
Tapi sebaliknya, they have been brainwashing the Westerners for decades. Okay, diorang dah tak have that same power anymore because people can show what's truly going on without filtering stuff, without apa tu tutup sebelah side of the cerita. Okay, they have their own authentic, to a certain extent lah,
Mm.
authentic source of news. So people are
Mm-hmm.
beginning to realize, not just us countries yang memang dah sedar secara keseluruhan. Of course adalah minorities like even you. I think you're learning a lot right now about the Israeli Palestinian situation compared to
Yes.
before kan.
Yes.
Tapi
Yes.
the Malay Muslims around the world, they have known this for a long time already. Now what's changing is the non-Muslims and the Westerners are beginning to ada lebih kesedaran towards the truth. Okay, it's beginning to fed.
Oh.
Okay, but right now feed the
Ezran, wait, Ezran, you are lagging. Wait a minute. wait, wait a minute. Okay, you are lagging. Is everything
testing
okay?
testing 1 2 3.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, wait. Your resolution is
Lagging
dropping.
again.
Your
Uh,
resolution is dropping. Wait.
I I I think it's, I don't know, maybe sebab ada influx of students coming to my college
Oh, I
today. So
see.
semakin ramai yang guna internet.
Okay, okay,
I don't
okay.
know if that affects though.
Le-
Because
le-
sebelum ni bila everyone was here, it was okay. Tapi maybe because of the influx, you know.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Because the lag in this live is I can see I can see the lag. I can see the lag through the live. So yeah. Okay, you can continue. You can continue. It's okay.
Okay. So dengan ada social media right now and
Mm.
a lot of Palestinians are having internet access
Mm.
and phones themselves, they can record and they can upload yang tu yang semakin ramai sedar of siapa yang dizalimi sebenarnya, who's attacking
Mm,
who and who is just defending themselves.
mm,
And at this point, okay, Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel,
mm,
I think merangkap presiden juga, I pun tak sure.
mm,
Bila dia like apa going to Biden and minta justify Israel defend themselves
mm,
against Palestinian attacks,
mm,
he just looks dumb because almost the whole world has information right now that can tell them that it's actually the Israelis attacking and the Palestinians defending their land and their honor.
ah,
Because you attack a mosque, kan? So
yes,
of course
yes,
it's not just about the land anymore. It's about the Muslim honor.
yes, yes.
And I am very happy to see that a lot of Western countries are getting actual unfiltered feeds of what's going on in that region.
Mm,
But of course lah, disappointed juga because ada yang still like coming out with lies about who the Muslims attacking first, which is
mm,
not true.
mm,
Um, because come on lah, I don't think the Palestinians would want to risk, okay, the Israelis attacking Al-Aqsa Mosque by
mm,
having violent protests terus, you know.
mm. Yeah.
The violent protests are just in retaliation to violence from the Israelis themselves.
Yes, yes,
And then
yes.
the second part that I wanted to talk about tadi apa eh? Lupa
Uh,
dah.
oh wait, what?
First was
I was
about
so focused.
social. First was
Social.
about social media and internet. Now how we can help.
Yeah,
Now
yeah, yeah.
we've been sending volunteers and aids for as long as we can remember dah. Okay, people from all over the world, not just Malaysia, but that's not enough. Satu because not enough volunteers and apa tu, money, and also the Israelis tengah conquer that region kan, so they decide what helps come lalui sempadan and
Ah.
what help go out. So
Oh.
siapa yang nak pergi tolong kat sana, they risk being detained by the Israelis, they risk being killed. So of course not a lot of people are willing to volunteer, and it's understandable. It doesn't make them bad people, but what we can do as nations, Muslim nations, the Arab countries, okay, and then Turkey right now dia dah kurang secular, more pro-Islam, and then
Mm,
countries like Malaysia, majority Muslims, we have that power sebenarnya as a collective
mm,
to at least tentang to subdue the Israeli military force. Okay, but we are not united. So this is what apa tu people sharing on social media tengah buat sebenarnya, even if they themselves don't know that it is the true purpose. We are
mm.
pressuring our leaders to do something. Okay.
Ah, okay, okay.
Now,
Understand, understandable.
why haven't the leaders been doing anything in the first place? Uh, Diorang pun kena fikirkan kepentingan negara sendiri.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
it sounds selfish, but actually it's just human nature, it's survival, it's just that, okay. Not you see, kita tak se-advance countries yang tengah backup Israel sebenarnya. Sebagai contoh, the simplest contoh uh, that I can think of right now, okay? The simplest one, and it would make sense. Berapa country saja
Mm-hmm.
yang ada nuclear weapons? Do you know?
Not more than, if I'm not mistaken, the one that I know is like two countries only.
Which two do you think?
North Korea and one more in the US.
Okay. Uh,
You can
based
tell me
on
more. Okay.
based on what I could find in recent reports, okay?
Uh-huh.
Recent as 2020, I think.
Uh-huh.
Ada 9 countries je with working
Nuclear.
nuclear weapons, which are the
Uh,
US, the
mm-hmm.
UK,
Mm-hmm.
Russia, France, China, India, Pakistan, Israel, and North Korea. Okay. Now Israel
Oh.
is a very small country.
Mm-hmm.
I think right now not so small lah because they're on the expand. But
Yeah.
apa tu dari awal lagi, even before they expanded to the extent right now,
Mm-hmm.
they when they were still relatively small, they had nuclear technology and
Mm.
nuclear weapon technology. You can ada a distinction ya between nuclear technology and nuclear weapons technology.
Mm.
Satu nuclear dia punya applications banyak for apa tu generating apa tu electricity apa semua. But nuclear weapons energy, weaponizing nuclear energy is another thing entirely. So only a few countries saja ada nuclear weapons. And coincidentally, a lot of these countries are also the ones backing up Israel. Okay,
Ah.
US, France. Okay, India. India pun sekepala lah dengan Israel. You could say. Okay,
Yes, ah.
yeah,
That, oh, I don't really know.
they want to be friends. Yeah,
Oh,
they have been friends, close friends for a long time juga.
I
I
see.
think only in this list only North Korea and China and perhaps Russia. I'm not sure about Russia, but North Korea dengan China je yang macam tak participate sangat dengan in this problem.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
as you can see, US and UK and France and India ni semua backup Israel, okay? And they have nuclear weapons. The Arab countries, the Muslim countries all over the world,
Mm-hmm.
even if united we can defeat Israel, we cannot stand the we cannot apa to take the blows from the countries backing up Israel if they decide to go nuclear.
Okay,
Betul tak?
I understand what you're saying already. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think no, that is why Muslim country like hesitate to really help the Palestinians.
Yes, yes.
Ah.
Apa tu? So, ni cakap pasal nuclear weapons je, okay? Even
Mm.
if we discount nuclear weapons, these countries are way more advanced than our countries.
Yes.
That kita takkan senang nak decide. Oh, let's go back up Palestine, declare war on Israel, and be ready to face the consequences from the other countries yang tengah back up Israel. Because
Uh,
apa tu, simply we simply tak boleh. They have the expertise, they have the technology. Okay, and if they decide to go nuclear, memang it
I
is
think
like kita kena pijak lah basically. It's not really
yeah.
a fight pun anymore.
Yes, yes. So but the least we can do is
Oh,
to
sorry.
spread awareness.
Even if we don't go that far, okay. Even if we tak cakap pasal the countries backing them up, Israel itself ada nuclear weapons. So even
Mm,
if they can't hit all of the countries, if we were to unite, okay, the Arab
mm,
countries and the Muslim countries, even if we were to unite and
mm-hmm,
attack Israel, the
mm-hmm,
the Israelis would still have a chance to take some of these countries, at least some cities of these countries out by nuclear attacks. And
mm.
kita nak risk such attacks on us?
I think no,
No.
because a lot more people will die.
So the only thing we can do right now is send apa tu non-aggressive help. Kita
Ah,
tak boleh attack. Kita only boleh hantar bantuan makanan, bantuan tenaga manusia to help these communities yang displaced and apa tu injured to rebuild their lives. That is the extent that we can do. And
ah,
the people yang nak pressure the governments into taking action, uh, it's a noble cause. Go ahead, go on pressuring, but you kena understand jugalah that the our nation's leaders punya hands are tight juga. Dia tak boleh buat banyak benda. Now what I foresee can happen is kita spread the awareness on social media, but not just to pressure our leaders, but to sedarkan the people of the Western countries too to what is going on, so that
mm,
they can pressure their leaders. the people who can actually do something about it without getting their own homes nuclear bombed. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
they can pressure their leaders
Mm.
into making a difference.
Yeah. So I hope this video getting out, getting out. Like a lot of people will watch this video. I think I'm gonna start doing all the hashtags and all that, so that we can spread more awareness to a lot more people to understand that Israel is in the wrong. We should really help the Palestine to get back their land. I think we should help them to get back their land also, right?
Hmm?
Or I mean,
Um,
the land itself is theirs, right? At the same point, but it's the UN, if I'm not mistaken, it's the UN, the one that split the land
you
into
you
two.
you tengok lah the UN, the people in power in UN pun
Yeah.
are the people yang backing out Israel. So of course, it's like yang I bagi contoh tadi lah, apa
Hmm.
tu, the Israeli court deciding that they can do something on Palestinian land
Hmm.
for the kepentingan of Israel. You dah berkepentingan, your decision there is obvious.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, what's more to know? What else? What else should we know about Palestinians and Israelis? I think Ezran has has really taught me a lot of stuff today, because for real, I don't really understand what really happened there. Like until I really read in the news, and talking to you right now
Mhm.
about what really happened. What's the cause of the conflict, and what should we do, and yeah, and all that. As for now, other than spreading awareness and then let the Western country know that, to pressure their leaders, just like what Ezran has said just now, there's nothing else we can do, right? Besides doing donation and all that.
Yeah, yeah. And siapa yang berani tu, siapa yang muda macam kita and berani, ada
Uh,
masa, okay.
uh,
You can go there, Muslim or not.
yeah.
Tak ada orang halang,
Mm.
except for the Israeli forces,
Mm.
probably.
Okay, those who are brave enough to go there, go ahead. Because both of us are not that brave. I am brave enough to spread awareness to everyone, but I'm not the kind of people that will go on full war for other people. Okay,
Hmm,
but I
apa
think
tu,
this is the best that I can do, lah.
yeah, the thing is,
Mm-hmm.
the situation in Israel ni sangat lopsided tau sebenarnya. Even though you tengok lah, the the Israelis tengah complain, oh Hamas asyik aduk hantar roket apa tu towards their capital. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you tengok how many actually hit, how many actually died. Around 10 or less je Israelis have died, as far as I checked pagi tadi, and more than 140 Palestinians have died from the
Yeah, yeah,
conflict.
yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
padahal Hamas has sent many more, I think tens, or maybe 10 times more rockets than Israelis have hantar dekat the Gaza.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And a lot, and as Ron said just now, a lot of people died during this bombing thing that happened a few days ago. So even though, as Ron said, like 10 people is like very less, but still got people die. We really hope that this will end soon. Like, don't want to freaking sacrifice more people into this mess. Like, when this bombing started, a lot of citizens died. The one that don't really involved in this kind of stuff, was like just died just like that, and it was very sad. No lah. So, I think, Ezran, you have taught me a lot of stuff today. I think we should.
I hope this session has been helpful not just to you but also to
A
your
lot of
viewers
people.
and prospective viewers.
Okay, if after the stream ends, I'm gonna post it on the Insta again,
Ada
to
berapa
let
orang
everyone.
tengah tengok sekarang ni right now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I really hope that you all will spread this to everyone. Like, me, the one that, especially people who are like me that don't really understand about what's really happening right now, just share it. It's just share it. It is an hour long live video, but it's okay. Just share it to spread the awareness about what is happening right now. What should we do? Uh, and I hope this is a. I hope this session has taught some of the viewers something, as it has taught me a lot of stuff. Like no joke. I think that is it for today lah. Oh yeah, Ezran. I think nothing else right to talk about beside what's really. Do you have
Mm.
anything to add on after?
I would like to mention two things.
Yeah, yeah.
Satu, kepada siapa yang tak percayalah that Israel is in the wrong. Okay,
Mm,
it doesn't matter. Even if you tak percaya, okay, just look at the current situation. The Israelis are saying that they're just defending themselves. Tapi you tengok at the death tolls, you compare 10 versus more than 100, and this is just deaths, okay, not taking into account injuries. Injuries,
mm,
kalau you compare injuries, oh, lagi lah teruk the Palestinians kena daripada the Israelis. The Israelis can stop attacking, okay, and Hamas would stop retaliating to their attack. Even if you kata Israel tengah defending itself, okay, and Hamas yang tengah attack, Hamas will stop once Israel stops.
mm. And it
Betul
all
tak?
happens because of Israel attacking Al-Aqsa. Am I right? It all started from there,
Um,
right?
yes, yes. The
The bombing
basic
part.
root, yang paling asalnya is Sheikh Jarrah evictions,
Mm.
but where it blew up was Al-Aqsa.
Ah, see, so that is why. And by the way, before we end the stream, all the media, the one that I show you also, like you said to me before the stream start, it is like biased towards the Israel, right? A lot of
Yes.
news on the website on anywhere lah.
Tak
The
bias towards
Yeah,
Israel kan? Kan?
no, they a lot of, yeah, not biased towards Israel. They like the one that I watched it from the one from India that says that it is a they literally said that it is an Israeli fault because of what really happened to, right now. So yeah, that's that. Please follow how to say, follow the correct news. Don't get brainwashed. Please, you know. Uh, Even now, right? There's people that's like blaming Israelis. Like if I watch TikTok, like don't say like the legit news, like just watch TikTok.
Mm.
There's people that like standing for Israelis, even though it's their fault in the first place. So you can see that how how big is the influence there.
The itu lagi satu. Regardless of which side the news you get is biased, okay?
Mhm.
Tak kisahlah if it says Israel is right or Israel
Palestine
is
is right.
wrong.
Ah,
Semak dulu. Even apa yang kita cakap dalam session ni, okay,
mm,
viewers, please be penyebar yang bertanggungjawab. Kalau you tak sebarkan, tapi you ambil terus belief to upon yourself, you berpegang pada tu, okay, you tak nak buat research pun ikut you, lantak lah. Tapi kalau
mm,
you nak sebarkan apa yang you dapat, check fakta dulu, okay. Jangan just because you saw this on TV, you dapat WhatsApp ke you
mm.
nampak kat YouTube ke, jangan check dengan credible news sources. Okay, like
Uh,
Tang and I did, we checked and tak ada satu pun yang bias towards Israel. Okay, so any apa tu claims tu yang Israel did not in fact start this whole thing, kita senang lah by deduction je kita boleh kata okay, it's not true. Okay, kita sendiri dah research baru kita boleh sebarkan. Kalau tak, it's just apa tu apa berita palsu.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I pernah I pernah dapat berita palsu, okay,
About what?
from my own apa tu
Family member.
relative, not
Uh,
from family member.
uh.
Alhamdulillah, my nucleus family member semua bijak pandai. Dorang tak senang-senang nak ikut apa yang dorang baca. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I pernah dapat like, of course lah, dekat group relatives memang bising kan. The aunts
Mm-hmm.
sending ni tu, the
Mm-hmm.
uncles pun.
Ah,
Uh,
yeah, 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 yeah.
I pernah more than one instance, okay, copy the headline of the message yang dia share kat WhatsApp.
Mm.
I search dekat Google. All the entries kata berita palsu, fake news. This did not happen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think everyone's relatives also what confirm there'll be one of them that love to spread fake news or just
Kan?
spread any news lah. No, don't talk about Palestine and freaking
Yeah,
Israel.
any news.
Any news, even the recent one, vaccines. If you take this vaccine, we'll die from this, die from
Yeah,
that.
and then popular among Muslim Malays.
Mm-hmm.
Makanan ni ada DNA babi. Makanan ni ada daging babi. Ni babi.
even I myself received that, from my own uncle or auntie. I was like,
Why? Why would you receive? I
I
mean,
don't know. It was like the group is kind of like how to say. I myself are not the type of that is racist, but my uncle and auntie is kind of racist themselves. Then they send this like to how to say to stir up our emotion or some shit to fight, like to have
but
a racial
what
issue.
what problem would you have with babi in your makanan?
No, because if you look at it, like, oh, the Chinese will think that, oh, confirm the Muslims blaming the Chinese because of this this food got this stuff, certain. You understand or not? You
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
or not? Then you stir up the whole situation and then
But it's not wrong. Memang ada golongan Melayu Muslim yang
Mhm,
tengah buat semua ni, tengah sebarkan. Of course, people spread without doing research, but the thing that diorang tengah spread and share ni, it came from one person or one entity kan. Okay,
mhm,
and these people yang spark these rumors,
mhm.
diorang ni memang tak bertanggungjawab. Memang betul dah apa yang you punya uncle and aunties kata.
At the end, at the end, we all just want to say, please, search and do your research, search and research your facts. Maybe some of our words are not true at all. Like, you do your own research and then everyone has their own belief. Whatever you want to believe, go ahead. Again, this is our own opinion about this situation. Okay. I think this is the end of the
Oh
podcast
wait,
already.
I baru terfikir lagi satu benda.
Okay.
It
Say.
has recently come into my attention that
Mm-hmm.
people tengah start the boycotting product season. Yeah, you know that
Boycotting which product though? I don't really follow that anymore.
any and all products yang supposedly associated
Oh,
with
okay.
Israel,
Yeah,
because
that one.
apparently these companies are either
Let's take
hugely
an
partly
example.
owned
Uh,
by apa tu, perbadanan dan pertubuhan or even countries yang sokong Israel, or the profits would go to supplying Israel with weapons.
mhm. What do you think
So
about that?
a lot of it is untrue, and
Mm,
even for the ones yang true, okay, ni I tak kata ada yang true tau, tapi even if ada yang true, which is sikit, it won't make much of a difference because a lot of these publicly traded companies, they are big names, they are
mm,
big names. So they are publicly traded. They are not owned by just one entity. Ada ramai. A lot of
mm.
people own shares in it. Okay, and they get the profits.
At
and
the end, right?
and
They
they
care
have
about
to buy
profits, right?
and they have to bayar pekerja sendiri juga. They,
Mm,
like, even if they supply some of the money to Israel, they can't supply much. A lot
mm.
of Israel punya weapons sebenarnya datang from taxpayer money from the US.
Now Ezran has said it. It's from the
Yes,
US. It's not from
yes.
some other company.
If I'm not mistaken lah, even dalam pembentangan budget yearly diorang kat US,
Mm-hmm.
yearly, or I don't know how they do it, but biasanya
Okay.
orang buat budget yearly.
Mm-hmm.
Diorang bila diorang bentangkan, diorang memang allocate funds untuk Israel. Which is
Ah,
funny because Israel, it should be its own country, right? Why
yeah,
are you giving money like charity?
yeah. And then it all makes sense why they're all backing up Israel.
Sebab tu bila ada presidential campaigns apa semua, they
Mm-hmm.
would also basically kata what they want to do for Israel with taxpayer money, because
Yeah.
memang dah tradition, or even maybe dari segi law pun, maybe they are required to allocate funds for Israel. Even taxpayers yang nak vote, they would apa tu, pilih ada yang based on, okay, Mamat ni dia sokong Israel ke tak? Would you believe that?
No.
It sounds like tak boleh percaya, but this
Yeah.
is hakikatnya. Memang the situation is like this.
I see.
Hmm.
I see.
So
But
yang nak boycott tu tak
uh,
payahlah worry sangat pasal Israel getting weapons from apa tu, this company apa semua, because
mm,
even if they do get, it's very little, because a
mm,
lot of the funding comes from the US. And
mm.
also, kalau you nak, like I said, you nak berpegang sendiri, you sendiri nak boycott, go ahead. Tapi janganlah nak protes, nak pergi apa tu, kecam orang yang tak boycott.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And in the end, those big company are looking for profits only. They are not wanting to lose money. Yeah, if
Yeah,
you
but
like okay,
but of
say
course
again.
lah, apa tu, ada like majority owners, people yang kaya,
Mm-hmm.
yang yang would donate their money for a cause.
Mm,
I'm not denying that. Okay, but itu dah jadi diorang punya duit.
mm,
Whoever and whatever they donate to, itu bukan salah you,
mm,
because you tak tahu for sure that the money, the proceeds, the profits that they get from these companies apa tu, growing and making profit. Okay, you don't know what they're gonna use that money for.
mm,
Diorang nak buy arak apa semua. Dalam Islam, you tak boleh be complicit in the purchase or transportation or any kind of distribution of arak. Okay, so kalau you invest in a company yang buat arak, tak boleh. Kalau
mm,
you invest in a company yang you tahu dia menyumbang kepada the arak industry in any way, tak boleh. Kalau you nak bagi money to a kawan yang you tahu dia akan spend, even if you bagi pinjam tau, you tahu for a fact dia akan spend on benda-benda haram, tak boleh.
oh,
Okay. So
okay.
kalau you nak uh, kalau you nak kata macam tu, you tahu for a fact that these people yang rajin donate to Israel's cause memang akan donate to Israel's cause from the profits that they gain from the money that you spend on outlets yang famous ni. Kalau you tahu for a fact, then you punya argument is justified. But you don't know for a fact. Kalau I pinjamkan duit I kepada you, Tang, you kata
Mm-hmm.
you nak beli barang dapur, tapi
Ah,
dalam pergi beli barang dapur tu, you pandai-pandai pergi beli arak sekali.
ah,
I did not know, okay, that you would beli arak. So the beban dosa tu, it doesn't fall on me. Same goes to the bigger, the grander scale of boycotting Israel. You don't know what the profiteers are going to use that money on.
mm-hmm.
Tak payah nak apa tu, pandai-pandai. Unless lah the company policy sendiri dah kata, okay, we're gonna donate berapa
This
percent of
certain
the profit
amount.
to Israel before we actually give to the benefactors of the company as diorang punya share of the profits. Yang tu go ahead. Kalau it explicitly says something like that, okay, go ahead.
Ah,
You are not wrong. In fact, you would probably be the most right person in that situation. But I don't think ada company
ah.
yang ada such policies, betul tak?
No, no, there's no company. As you can hear from Ezran, please don't suddenly boycott. Okay, don't suddenly boycott because there's people who are working there in the store. Like I saw one post on Insta lah. I don't know who but the fellow was like working in that store, particular store that who's gotten boycott.
Mm,
So if you boycott the company, right? Let's say you don't want to
mm.
buy stuff, and then no, like everyone follow you. At the end, the shop closed down, and then you're gonna make the fella who worked there lose their job.
Yeah.
So please, without factual fact, don't go and simply boycott. It's gonna affect everyone, okay? Not just the Israel itself, everyone. So yeah,
La,
there's that.
lagi lagi satu, I bengang dengan orang yang kuat bising boycott ni.
Okay, yeah, what?
Diorang boycott bermusim tau. Bila ada problem dekat Israel and Palestine yang besar, baru diorang boycott gila-gila tau. But
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
after a few
After
years tak dengar cerita, oh
oh,
diorang lagi banyak order McD daripada orang yang tak boycott.
hey, I think before the Israel and Palestine also there's boycott also towards the H&M, what H&M,
uh,
especially the
I,
H&M.
I don't know about H&M, but kalau you nak cakap boycott product from France, ramai yang nak boycott because
ah
France tengah basically oppress Muslims there.
ah
Yang tu yes.
and the one like this thing. Okay, if you if you going to buy their stuff after all this happened, you better off don't boycott them lah. Yeah, like you like Ezran said, you boycott bermusim or when this thing happened, you boycott them. You don't want to buy their stuff, and then after all of this is gone. Like it's quiet down. It's not gone, but it's quiet down. And then
Quiet down.
you all started to go and splurge on their products. Like doesn't make sense at all.
Apa tu, now the people yang mula-mula boycott
Ah,
and then diorang tak boycott, and then bila
mm,
something big comes up, diorang tak kembali boycott. Yang
mm,
tu I okay. Maybe
ah.
dalam apa perjalanan hidup diorang ada menemui some arguments why boycotting doesn't work, okay,
Yeah.
or you tak perlu boycott. So diorang dah berubah fikiran, okay. Diorang dah tak boycott langsung dah. Okay, yang tu I faham. Tapi yang kembali boycott after yang tu memang lalang or meaning like dia akan ikut mana the wind blows. Itu memang tak ada backbone sendiri, tak ada pegangan hidup. Dia ikut apa orang kata je. Bila orang tak kata apa-apa, oh dia okay.
Hey, you.
Now the funniest thing, okay, what I find ironic is when you boycott bermusim,
Mhm.
sebenarnya you basically tak ada effect on the current situation because it takes time for your boycotting to actually affect um um
The
the
company.
cause
Ah,
the company. Yes. Contoh macam COVID, okay, you get COVID, it shows up berapa days after only, betul tak?
yes.
The number of cases, the daily new cases, it doesn't terus manifest. Contoh, kerajaan kata lockdown hari ni, takkan esok kes dah turun mendadak, tak kan? Dia ada,
No.
dia akan slowly turun after let's say 4, 5 or even 8
Oh,
days,
oh.
baru you can see the effects. So
Yes,
same
yes.
as boycotting, you boycott right now, bila apa tu situasi dah tengah kat kemuncak tau, you
Hmm.
boycott right now,
Mm.
when they already have had the funds, they already have the weapons coming in, contract apa semua kan.
Yeah.
And then bila things dah die down, okay, diorang tak diorang walaupun tak dengar besar, there's still some going on. Diorang tengah kumpul weapons or replenish diorang punya arsenal
Mm.
using the money that you dah sumbangkan before you kembali boycott.
Yeah. See what he meant just now? You see what I meant? That's yeah. So if you want to boycott, boycott forever. Don't stop.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and you know what? I know some people from our batch itself are like that one because I
Tak
saw on Insta. I won't say like they're who are them, who are they?
tak tak payah cakap. Our batch
Uh,
from my school pun, even my former close friend, okay,
ah,
sebab dia like very outspoken pasal benda ni
ah,
when the time comes, okay. So pernah masa kita orang like tengah dah tak kawan rapat sangat lah for around form 3 form 4,
ah,
um, kawan-kawan semua makan kat McD tau, and dorang
mm.
selalu rajin makan McD, like kaya gila. And this guy yang I kata duk suarakan boycott apa semua ni,
Mm.
dia pun join sekali. In fact, dia salah seorang yang selalu pergi McD. Padahal a few years before that, dia lah yang duk bising-bising apa tu, macam orang yang tak boycott ni teruk sangat. So masa I pergi, I tersempat dengan dia kat McD, I approached him and I perli dia lah, I kata
Mm.
darah Palestine. And then dia marah, he actually like got out like to physically
Ah,
attack me tau.
yeah.
And memang our friends had to hold us back from bergaduh. And after that we didn't speak to each other for weeks. and and
Uh-huh.
I know for a fact after that they still makan McD. But
Mm.
now musim dah datang semula.
Ah. Did he? Did he? Did he?
Dia post kat WhatsApp apa tu, company yang you kena boycott apa semua, and ada McD
Oh.
tumpang kat situ. Eh,
Look. This is so funny, I tell you.
sorry ya mengumpat. But if you're watching this, know that I tak sebut your name, okay? You siapa makan cili terasa
Ah.
pedas.
Ah.
Uh,
Same. If you felt bad and then you come and attack me or Ezran, I tell you, the next podcast I'm going to
yeah,
expose
invite
you.
please. Apa tu no tak payah like expose bagi ni. I want to have a civil discussion,
Ah.
seeing you trying to disprove my points.
Yeah. Okay. Like we're not going to expose it.
And tell me macam mana boycott bermusim ni actually helps.
Yeah.
Kalau you nak
Please.
boycott selamanya, okay, I have no problem. Like I said, you berpegang kepada you punya pendirian. You tak impose your beliefs on other people. It's okay. Tapi bila you boycott bermusim and then you impose on other people, you kena have strong arguments to back up you punya tindakan.
Yes. Please, we want to know that. I think if you want to come to my podcast to talk about it also, I'll gladly invite you as the guest.
Apa tu, PM DM or apa tu, just leave your name in the chat for Teng.
Yeah. Or just comment down below after the stream.
I think
Anytime.
it would be interesting to have a podcast where we can roast one of the guests.
Yeah. And at the end, the most efficient way to do it is to spread awareness to the Western country and let them know that who is the wrong, who is the right, and then let them pressure their leader, like Ezran said just now, right? So we can make a change, for a better place for everyone to live. I think that's it for now. We dah lari already from the topic. Thank you, Ezra, for explaining everything. Basically, he literally talked to 1.5 hours. I didn't talk at all.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Yeah.
I hope this is insightful for everyone. Okay.
Insightful for me though. It's okay. I'm gonna spread my job as a YouTuber. I'm gonna spread
Mm.
this
I
video
think
everywhere.
for the ones yang would watch later,
Mhm.
I think Teng, would it be okay for them to like letakkan pertanyaan or some apa tu opposing
Oh,
arguments
please, please,
dekat
please,
comments? Yeah.
please, please, please. You can
Let
comment
be
anything down
intellectual, eh?
below.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
let it be intellectual.
Yes,
Jangan
yes, yes.
sekadar kata Israel laknatullah macam satu komen ni. Uh,
Yeah, I'm not gonna
I,
expose him
I,
lah,
I,
but yeah,
I,
there's one
I'm not.
comment. There's
Oh,
one comment.
dia tak appear dekat YouTube.
Yeah, it's not appeared because I think it's because it's how to say a foul language or something, or because it has Israel inside. It doesn't appear in the live, you know. Maybe
It's,
there's
it's not it's
some
not
superhero or something.
exactly foul language.
I don't know
it's
lah,
it's
man.
it's cursing in a sense, but it's not foul language. I
But
mean, come
maybe
on,
because
people say F word and a lot of things like that in the comments all the time.
yeah.
Probably maybe because ada Israel, I pun
Ah,
tak tahu.
yeah. Maybe because of Israel. That's why it wasn't shown on the live chat,
Yeah.
on the talk
Please,
chat. Yeah.
we welcome any intellectual arguments or
Yeah.
questions that you would like to pose. Okay, maybe Teng boleh answer terus in the comments. He can ask me if he's not sure, or
Yeah.
maybe we can do another session addressing these questions. No?
Yes. If there's question, just
Tengoklah
put it down
sambutan
below.
macam mana. Okay.
Yeah, if it's like other podcasts, then it's okay lah. But yeah, this is like when we talk about serious stuff, nobody really want to watch. The only thing that I can do is spread the video and let everybody know. I think that's it lah for today. Thank you, Ezran, once again. And yeah, I see you all in the next podcast. Maybe next month, I don't know. Whenever anyone is free and I got guests. And yeah, I see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good day.